Good morning. Almost out of propane. Not sure what I'll do when it runs out. One thing about buying things in bulk, buying a lot of things, is that it throws your ability to do cost accounting off. Hey, let's hang out. I have to go to town today. I got a big long list of things to do, and you can go with me. It's going to be kind of a one-sided conversation, obviously, but as I bring up different issues and think as I get things done, I'll put links to the different topics mentioned in the description of the video, and you're welcome to respond and be part of the conversation. Let's see what happens on a day in town. All right, so it's 7:10, not super early, but there's not a lot of reasons to stress out today. It's just me and a guy arrived last night, a guy from the United States. His name is potentially private. We might be changing his name today. My watch I won't have today because the band is broken, and I'm not going to replace it because I keep buying these crappy, cheap watch bands, and I want to instead order online and get a really hardcore band. This is a Timex Expedition, great watch, but we won't be using it today. Good morning! Sleep all right?
Yes.
Excellent. So let's see if we're going to figure out a name for you. I don't know what your name's going to be. Do you know?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Playwright.
The Playwright. We'll call you the Playwright. Excellent. The Playwright is a guy who has been in Mexico quite a bit. He's also from the Northeast, going up there to finish a novel and stuff and doing stuff. Nice to have you here. I'm thrilled.
Thanks.
And I love that you're going to do camera stuff. We're going to have fun. So I guess I won't be alone with the audience here going to town. It will be the two of us and all the people in the little camera. You want some coffee?
No, hot tea.
Want tea?
Yeah.
That's right, you're a big tea guy.
Yeah.
You're not from England.
No.
How'd you get off on tea?
I quit coffee.
There you go. Well, we had a delay because I didn't charge batteries, which is very silly since the Playwright's here and I knew he was coming. We're going to focus on video. Very important with anything we do here in the Bosque, especially as we have more people, is to do your part and be prepared. I failed, and we learn. Anyway, I'm going to go dump these rotting fruit things. This is a terrible tragedy. Bananas going bad. Luckily, we have chickens who will take care of it. Chickens have food and water, so they're happy. The chickens are amazingly low care. So they're a great way to get animal protein. Very little work, and you don't have to kill the animal. There's some work involved, and what I can do to reduce the amount of work is to have feeders that are bigger, where you put in a whole big bag of food in it, and then they can just eat for a long time. The other thing I can do is get some chicken cups, which are little waterers, and that way they'll spill less and things will be cleaner and drier. So we'll log these eggs in, put them in the tray of new eggs. It's the 12th today. We'll make 2 marks for 2 eggs, and there'll be some more later. Right now we only have 6 hens that are laying. The rest are younger chickens who will start to lay in a couple months, and then there's going to be a lot of eggs, too many eggs. So I need to learn how to trade those in town. That'd be cool. Somebody hit my van the other day, right here, bashing the bumper up. Sort of annoying, but whatever. I'll get a sledgehammer and bend that back down. getting some gasoline at the Pemex, getting 500 pesos worth, which will barely get my needle to go above empty. It's a big tank. Gracias. And we got 18.25 pesos per liter. I should compare that cost with the price in the States. So I try to buy as little gasoline as possible. I used to buy it for generators because we use the generators for the carpentry shop. But generators are very finicky, they're very annoying. In this case, they're both broken anyway, and I would have to drive all the way to Pátzcuaro to get those tuned up. More panels, more solar panels would fix that problem. I, of course, buy gasoline for the van to get to town and back, and that's expensive, but I only drive once a week, and it's not that far. The new road has helped, so yeah, it's a cost. So we're going to get some jugo verdes, some green drinks. They're awesome. They have a whole bunch of stuff in them, pineapple and nopales and orange juice. Things are very quiet today. I'm not used to coming down to get things done and having it be so quiet because it's not market day. So it's really very pleasant. This is a Saturday, and I've got a very short list of things to do. It's not that bad. So it's going to be a really pleasant day. Oh, and the Playwright tells me that the pineapple has something called bromine. I think it's bromine. We'll have to look that up. And it's good for infections. I have a lung infection. In fact, I'm going to go to the pharmacist and see if there's anything I can do about that. Okay, so we need to get food for dogs. We need to get food for chickens. The chickens are eating like crazy now. We want to get some bicarbonate because we are low on it, and we use that in the sauna and for some other stuff. I'm hoping the library opens up because I want to donate some books to the library. I've got extra books in English, and they don't have any books in English, so that seems cool. And we'll just walk around and enjoy town.
Uno de perro.
Yep.
970.
Okay.
Aguanta un poquito.
So, this is a massive mountain of food waste. It's all just going to rot. It might as well go to the chickens. But I'd really have to have a pickup truck or something to get this stuff effectively. The van is getting older, so I should definitely get a pickup truck. We could take advantage of this waste and turn it into eggs and happy chickens.
Está bonito, Juan.
This is the biggest store in town, Mini Super Arana. It's not that big, but it's the biggest, and they got a bunch of stuff you can't get elsewhere. Boy, I'm glad I do not work in a tortilleria with the tortilla making machines. Those are noisy. Anyway, what we were doing there was we were getting costales. These are bags. They're a waste product really at this point. This one had flour in it, and this one had corn in it. So they make corn tortillas at one place and flour tortillas at the other. These are general purpose, great bags to use. We can go get sawdust in them. Right now I'm going to go to the butcher and I'm going to see if he has bones that I can give my dogs. So for a very cheap price I can get super dense bones with some meat on them. The dogs will go crazy, they'll be so happy, and of course very healthy for them as well.
No me la chivié.
¿Entonces tienes huesos hoy?
Sí.
Ok, perfecto. Alright, tengo un bolsa.
Para los carnes del rancho.
Sí, los perros. Esa es la cosa favorita por ellos. Muy feliz.
Contentos con eso, mi man. Let's go, man.
Ok, perfecto. ¿Cuánto le debo darte?
Nada más 20, man.
Ok. Vale. ¿Cómo estás? Muy bien.
Qué bueno, qué bueno.
¿Ya les haces las fotos?
Ya las tengo en la página.
¿De veras?
Sí, nada más que aún no la inauguro, puedo ver un invito de personas, pero ya tengo la página creada.
Ah, ok, yo
pero en
quiero
estos
verlo.
días te pongo ahí para que lo veas cómo está.
Perfecto.
Gracias, Brian.
Nos vemos. So these bones from the butcher are fantastic. This was 20 pesos. So that would be $1.25 or something, a little over $1 for a whole bunch of very weighty protein. ¿Sabes qué? Puedes darme completo si quieres. Ok, completo. No sé si acabe. ¿Va a acabar? Sí. Ah, sí. Es más chistoso. The animal food is ever.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. How are you? Wow. Sweet pineapple. These guys are 2 for 30 pesos. So you get 2 of them for about $2. And I'm going to get 4 of them.
¿Algo más?
Creo que es todo. Looks like somebody's giving yoga classes here in town. So since I got here, every single year there's some kind of public works project. There's always improvements here in Arana. This town is proud of its heritage, it's proud of its future. I'm thrilled to see it when they turn roads like this into roads like one over there. Let's go take a look. It's an example of a really pretty road that just recently got fixed up. There's benches, cars can't go through it, so it's very pedestrian friendly. This area was just redone 2 months ago. It's got a new fountain, some benches, and some awesome landscaping. Beautiful. The lake used to come all the way up to here, but it's been silting in, and there could be a natural cycle of the lake rising and falling, but the bigger problem is human activity. Up in the mountains, all of the springs are tapped off. The water's tapped off for human use, you know, and So long-term, water use has to be reduced, but of course humans are not good at that. I would love it if everybody used composting toilets around here. That would save 40% of the water, and also you wouldn't have to treat the black water then. So it would solve two problems, and there'd be more water for the lake and more water for other uses. So you can see up on the hill here, there's a little bit of remnants of a big forest fire that happened. Hopefully that won't take off, but we have just recently started getting rain, so my suspicion is there will not be any more forest fires this year. This is the Arana graveyard. Not super big. It's very lively during Day of the Dead, one of the most magical times of the year here in rural Mexico, especially in this part of Mexico, where families come and they spend some time with their ancestors. It's a lovely time of year. You can watch the movie Coco to get a Disney perspective on it, which has some surprising depth. It's actually a good movie. Maybe someday I'll be buried here. I don't know. I would rather be buried up in the Bosque, but I have to work that out. I have some ideas on how to deal with death in a different way. But here, I like how they deal with death. This environment is not sterile. It's not artificial, not that organized maybe, but it's a beautiful spot. We're just up here to take some time out for a little bit and relax. This is a palm tree. It's huge and beautiful. You'll notice on the trunk that there's little green seedlings. These are baby palms, because those seeds you saw at the top fall down into the trunk in little niches where there used to be a leaf, and they germinate and start making a baby tree. Well, those cannot really survive up there. So what we've done is I asked the government if I could come down here with a ladder, and we harvested some of those baby trees. Now they're in buckets up in the Bosque, and after 4 years or so, they'll be, this big, and maybe we'll wait a little longer, and we can plant them. Other thing is the seeds up there, if I can get to those with a nice big knife on a pole, and I get the seeds, then I can get even more babies going on. Now just recently I heard about that there's some kind of disease going on with palms. I'll have to read about it, but I don't know if these ones already have that disease or not. Apparently it's a widespread disease. So if I can grow them myself and they aren't diseased, then I'm actually helping support the genome of different palms. I can even collect more than one kind of palm. But it also means I have to be especially careful about what kinds of palms or other trees I bring into the Bosque. So I have to learn a lot in every single case with every species, what we should do or not. This is nata. It's not yogurt. So this is a milk product from some people here with cows, and I've made ghee with this before, which is clarified butter. Now the last time I did it was kind of experimental and I was seeing how to do it. Now I know how to do it. So we're going to see with 1 kilo of nata how much clarified butter we can make. This was 30 pesos for 1 kilo, which is actually very cheap. That's cheaper than bell peppers. Bell peppers are especially an expensive vegetable here. So very economical for an animal product. Well, that was a pretty easy day. It's a very pleasant day really. I feel very relaxed. My belly's full. I had a torta. The Playwright had a couple quesadillas over there. And let's head back to Bosque. Entonces, ¿qué haces hoy?
Aquí jugando con los legos.
Yo sé, pero ¿qué construyes?
Una casa.
Casas, qué bueno. Entonces tu familia hacen casas en Yota y ustedes hacen casas con legos. Qué bueno. Bueno, soy muy feliz que puedes jugar con esos legos porque yo creo que los legos sienten muy solito. Necesitan gente a jugar. Bueno. Now that's a bone. Sebastian. Cabron. Mayhem. Spaz. Keep on, honey. Keep
Eva. You dog.
So this bone is pretty big and cool. The dogs are just going to crunch it up. So I think I'm going to give this one to the chickens. They'll clean it up for me. And I think the highest use of this bone might be as an art supply. It's a natural sculpture already in progress. We could maybe file some pieces off and kind of see what it looks like. Perhaps paint it? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's get heavy. This is my scale. I probably need to get a better scale. But what I'm curious about is the food we bought in town and how much it cost per kilo or per pound for those gringos who use the English system. And then we can compare that with how much food costs in places like Seattle and Chicago and New York. So let's get a new scale for Brian somehow, and then we'll go weigh the food. I am currently 180 pounds. I'm now 220 pounds, maybe 221. Okay, so 41 pounds of food. The cost for that food, so the cost on the food was 149 pesos, let's call it 150. 150 plus 60, that is 210 pesos. So the current exchange rate is 19.4 pesos per dollar. That means that 210 pesos is $10.80. Let's call it $11, okay? So we spent $11 for 41 pounds of food. For 41 pounds, which means 11 by 41, and we get $0.26 per pound. We're talking about 25 cents a pound on average for these fruits and veggies. Now, that's because we live in an area that has an awesome climate. This is where food is grown, so we can eat lots of local stuff. And this is healthy, good food, and we should eat lots of fresh foods. So I would be surprised if Seattle or Chicago or New York has prices like that. You can calculate for yourself. You can do the same thing I'm doing. You can weigh your food, see what you paid for it, and calculate how much food costed for you. In fact, I recommend you do that. Leave that in the comments, because I'm super curious. So what did we get for $11? Let's take a look. We got some pineapples here. Those are in season. Bananas are always pretty cheap, it seems. A couple big cabbages we're going to use to make kimchi. A bunch of peppers, cebolla, onions.
White onion.
Nice big papaya, yay. And some nopales. These are cactus leaves, which we could just harvest here. I grow these. But for a very cheap price, I can buy them with all the thorns already removed. And that's just easier. Pretty amazing. Oh, that was a day. How was that for you?
Yeah, it was fun.
You liked it?
Yeah, Aranga's a beautiful little town.
It is. It's my favorite town. So we got tons of food, and I'm kind of a little bit tired, actually.
Yeah, likewise. I'm pretty depleted.
Excellent. Well, that means we did a good job. Thanks a lot. Thanks for being there behind the camera. It really helps to have people who understand angles and are trying to get good shots. And now, of course, we'll edit. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. It was fun.
Great. Now our reward is, you would think, that we're going to go and eat some of this fresh foods and have our kind of raw food diet. But no, we're going to go over to Yotatiro because my friend has a restaurant there and she makes unhealthy, excellent tasting food. I think we're going to do that.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right, let's do it. Thanks for joining us.